Back in 2014, an event happened that completely redrew the map of Europe and really challenged the entire world order. So today, we're going to break down the annexation of Crimea, what actually happened, and why we're still feeling the aftershocks of it today.
But, before any military moves were made, before any maps were changed, the first move was actually with words. It was a line drawn in the sand, a really powerful statement that basically set the stage for everything that came next.
And here it is, a direct quote from President Obama at the time. The world cannot accept borders redrawn by force. Now, this wasn't just some throwaway line. In the world of international politics, words like these are chosen very carefully. This was a super clear, unambiguous warning that a fundamental rule of how the world works was at risk.
So you have to ask, what could possibly happen to make one of the most powerful leaders in the world say something that strong? What was going on that needed such a stark warning?
Well, the answer to that question is all about a peninsula in the Black Sea. And that brings us right to the main event here, the annexation of Crimea.
Our source material really zooms in on one critical moment, the 24th day of this crisis back in 2014. This was the day that the entire geopolitical landscape of Eastern Europe was changed, just like that.
And here's the action itself. Russia annexed Crimea. It's a super short sentence, right? But the consequences were absolutely massive and are still playing out today. This single action is what triggered that whole international outcry we were just talking about.
Okay, so let's be totally clear on what annexation even means here. It's the act of seizing a territory, taking it, and then declaring it's now part of your own country. The key word is seizing. It's a unilateral move. It's done without the permission of the original country, which is a massive challenge to their sovereignty.
An action this big was never going to happen in a vacuum. It was guaranteed to get a reaction. So how exactly did the rest of the world respond to this?
Well, the response kind of came in two flavors. On one hand, you had the diplomatic front. That's President Obama's stark warning, using words as a weapon, basically. But words weren't the only thing. There was also a military response. NATO took real, concrete steps, beefing up its defenses all across Eastern Europe. This shows that the West wasn't just talking. It was getting ready for a new reality, backing up its words with a show of force.
So why? Why such a strong reaction over this one peninsula? To get that, we need to zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture, at the core rules that are supposed to govern how countries interact. It all comes down to why borders matter so much.
And look, here's really the heart of the matter, the big takeaway from all this. The annexation of Crimea wasn't just about, a local land grab. No. This was seen as a direct challenge to a huge foundational principle that's been in place since the end of World War II. And that principle is that you just don't change borders with military force. It's the rule that's supposed to keep things stable, to prevent the kind of massive conflicts that have torn continents apart in the past. It's a really big deal.
So all of this leaves us with a huge and frankly, pretty unsettling question. When a foundational rule like this gets broken, what are the long-term consequences? I mean, if borders can be redrawn by force in one place, what's to stop it from happening somewhere else? It's a question that really shakes the foundations of global stability, and it's one the world is still trying to figure out today.